So mailboxes are obviously is something that guys can attack, and they can send you phishing, and they can send you like malicious links, and mailboxes also can be compromised because of your previous password reusage. So if you use like your password 5 years in a row, be sure that that password is known for sure. And yeah, talking about mailboxes, you should understand that if you're using like Outlook or similar stuff, or Thunderbird from Firefox, they are storing your data in computer, your emails, in format .eml. That format can be stolen. So if somebody will infect your computer, it means that most likely all your emails are gone. If that guy will want to copy, he will just copy it. So there are some protections around the clients. So think about this. How dumb is it? So you have the Google Chrome, and Google Chrome is storing your passwords, and Firefox is storing your passwords. So let's imagine that when you first run the Firefox or the Google Chrome, they use some algorithm to store your passwords, and it is not clear text. They are using SQLite, and inside the SQLite, they are storing your encrypted credentials. So let me show you this solution, Nearsoft Password Viewer. If you download it, web browser password view, you will definitely see all your saved passwords like this. So it will just decrypt them. So Firefox and Google Chrome said, oh my God, because of that stuff, everyone can read the passwords, so our encryption doesn't work. And they said, let's generate for everyone profile, and that profile will encrypt individually the passwords for everyone. But hackers, they clearly understand that now they can just copy profile from your Windows. They don't, copy individual files which are encrypted. They just copy a profile which has your key. So if they will want to basically access your sessions and your passwords, all what they need to do is just copy your profile. After, just download the portable Google Chrome or Firefox and just drop that profile in that portable Google Chrome or Firefox, and it will decrypt it for themselves, because all the encryption keys are there, even though if they are there. Usually you can just use such software and you will get it. So usually there is no way, how to protect your passwords on your computer. I will tell you again. So you have the most crazy encryption which nobody can ever decrypt. No way, not possible. This is like the size of this room. The key is the size of this room, so big. But when you run your Google Chrome, right, it doesn't ask you to input anything, right? It doesn't ask you to input the password or something, right? So it is automatically decrypting it for you, for usability. So if I will store your profile and just use the same client as you do, it doesn't matter the salt, anything, because it will decrypt it for me using your predefined data, which is in that profile. It generated it for you. So if somebody will try to steal that file, right, they will not be able to decrypt it. But if the decryption is right in the same folder, it loses the the sense. What I was doing previously, now I'm not doing it because I got tired of this. So I was using VeraCrypt. So why I was using VeraCrypt. I will tell you, because I had like dual system. One system, I called it good system, like this, like my Windows. And I had the bad system. And the bad system was the system which had all the like tools, all the stuff from the GitHub. And I realized that the bad system has access to my hard drive, whereas the good system and the bad system can easily extract all the information from the good system, right? So when I download something from the GitHub, somebody who injected the malicious library in the GitHub, even in the good software. So the good software can use the bad library because that library, the guy just get angry and wanted to put some malware, or he was compromised. There are like big amount of stories around this, but I'm just saying that my bad system can start to access my good system because I use the same hard drive. So I thought I don't like this. So I created the external hard drive where I used the VeraCrypt with bcrypt. So what is VeraCrypt? So this is VeraCrypt. So I encrypted my hard drive completely with the VeraCrypt, and every time when I wanted to access my Firefox, Chrome, documents, whatever, I had to write the password. I had to open VeraCrypt, input the hard drive, and just input password. Why I didn't just cut part of my hard drive? Because I thought that I don't have that much space to do those activities, right? So let me just have it in external hard drive. Was it a pain? No, unless I forgot my password. So now I have that hard drive. I don't remember the password because I know it was crazy. And the idea here is that if you want to protect your data, you can do it. Even if you lose that hard drive, nobody will be able to do anything, like 99%. For me, I have a case when one guy came to me and I was working in cyber police, and he said, there is hard drive which is having encrypted data. Remove this that encryption. And I was like, man, like doesn't look that it's possible. And he said, like, do it, whatever. So like, okay. So it was VeraCrypt. And I understood that it is like not that easy, it's complex task. And we took that hard drive and start to brute force the password for that specific hard drive. What was on hard drive, I didn't know, but the guy was like damn serious. He said like this is like, so he got it from somebody. How? That is out of my business. But I know that he was like too much confident that that hard drive should be cracked. So using default methods like VeraCrypt brute force, right? No, no way, because the password was not in the word list, right? So I was already like a little bit depressed, and I started to talk with my colleagues like what we're going to do about this hard drive. It's like already here like 3 days we just brute forcing, and we already finished that activity. We are not going to hack it, right? So we start to discuss, maybe there is a tiny chance that that hard drive previously was used for some other activities, and we start to recover the data in the hard drive, because I've seen that that hard drive was like 1 TB, but VeraCrypt image was maybe like 800 gigs. So I said 200 gigs are the space which may be unallocated. Maybe there are something there. And you will never believe, it's like the story from the book, but we found that guy downloaded the Linux. Think about this. That hard drive was basically the so he downloaded the Linux after that guy, he is like smart enough. So he downloaded the Linux on that hard drive. He booted from that hard drive. He downloaded the VeraCrypt using the Linux. He encrypted the part of that hard drive, and after he removed the Linux, he like a referem Linux. So he did what he wanted, and he removed the Linux. And after, he was just using that hard drive when he wanted, like maybe some other Linux or whatever. So he basically didn't use his own computer to encrypt. He used the hard drive itself to encrypt. You got the point, right? So he booted from the same hard drive where he encrypted, because he thought that maybe if he will do on his own computer, maybe it will be possible to recover. But Linux has history on the terminal, and this guy accidentally input his password in that history. I think maybe he was like copying it. I don't know what he was doing exactly, but in the terminal, for some reason, it was like VeraCrypt, like blah blah blah, input this, input that. So he was like inputting different commands, and in some point he just input the password, maybe accidentally, I think. And that password was like this. We were like, how is it possible? So I am just saying that even in the situation which is like not possible, sometimes you can get, the crazy stuff.